What belief do most people have about aging that you absolutely disagree with?
Number one, aging is a gift. That's what I believe. That's what my colleagues believe. You can do it gracefully, but there's a lot of people trying to slow it down. And so I love these guys who say, I'm going to live to 180. I'm going to live to 200. Okay, interesting. The proof is not there yet.
How many times should you change somebody's frame in order to get exactly to them understand that they had a fake belief in the first place?
Well, I don't really give them a choice. I'm trying to get you to understand that fear is not an option if you understand the facts and you understand what's in front of you and you understand compelling future.
Where this certainty comes from? How long did it take to you become that certain?
If you just stay focused on the result for the client, customer, patient sitting in front of you, then even if something goes awry, but your focus is on their success, the client will feel your care and love for them. That's where I went for however many years.
What is very beautiful is that you're breaking people's false beliefs with a questioning. And this is the best way. You're not confronting them with the facts and all science data.
I understand that's what you believe now. Give me 5 minutes and watch what happens. And then I ask them a very smart question. My better question is, what's different about your shoulder movement now? Allow them to see the 7-point drop.
Is there a belief that you had a while ago that you completely changed? What would you like to people remember you for? If you could speak to 20, 25 years old Brian Bradley, what would you tell to him today? When you come up with the idea, what exactly do you want? Is this a link? Is this some digital exercise what you want to give them? Does posture in any correlation with self-confidence? What is the moment you shaped into the Brian Bradley we know today? Guys, I need to say something. We're building something really special here. The level of guests, the conversations, the depth we are going in week by week, it's becoming better and better, more and more valuable. But there is one thing which doesn't make any sense. Almost 90% of you who keep watching the episodes, who keep coming back week by week, are not subscribed yet. Which means one thing, you're not fully part of that journey. I get it. It's one click. It feels small. But for us, and myself personally, means everything. It tells the algorithm that we matter, it helps us reach bigger guests and create better and better podcast episodes, which at the end of the day are equally for myself like for yourself. They bring the value. So if there was ever a moment to support us, I please you to do it right now. Check if you're subscribed, and if you're not, it's completely free. It doesn't mean to you that much like it means to us. Just click the subscribe button, and by that way, you will help us grow bigger and bigger. And what I can promise you is that me and my team will continue making improves and very soon move ourselves to the real studio where we will record even more powerful episodes with same and new guests. Check, are you subscribed? And subscribe right now. Thank you. Brian Bradley, thank you so much for coming today on this show. And even that we had a little bit of difficulties to connect, I really appreciate you being here and that we don't need to reschedule it.
Yeah, I know it happens, right? We can't control, first of all, thank you, but we can't control what happens to the tech side. So we just have to have a backup. And that's where we are right now. We're good. We're on my phone. And that gives me some options to move it around and show you some of the biohacking stuff that I use too.
And this is actually perfect thing. And I also want to tell you that one thing which I so much admired is that we had that issue. You haven't got mad, you haven't got pissed off. And it's something what I yesterday spoke about. What actually happened is that I somehow scratched my glasses. And I went to the store, bought new ones. So this is the first time I'm recording with them. And I said to people in a story, which I recorded, that most of the time things we cannot control, we take so seriously, we start to get angry and start to get anxious about that, or even to go deeper in deeper mindset problems. We shouldn't. We should just let it go because those things are not that important. With all that said, let's start from the very beginning. What belief do most people have about aging that you absolutely disagree with?
Number one, aging is a gift. That's what I believe. That's what my colleagues believe. You can do it gracefully, but there's a lot of people trying to slow it down. And so I love these guys who say, I'm going to live to 180. I'm going to live to 200. Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. The proof is not there yet. And the only proof that's going to be there is I'll see you at 180 because we'll see what happens. In the world of chronic pain where I live in performance, a lot of people say, my knee is hurting. But Brian, you'll never understand it because you're only almost 60. They're well into their 60s, and they're saying, you'll never get it until you get to be my age. And I said, well, that's awesome. How old is your other knee? And that breaks the state, just like it did with you, how you're laughing a little bit. Then they're stuck. They're trapped at that point. They go, okay, wait, what? I'm like, well, how old is your other knee? It's 68 also. So you're saying it's not age. I said, well, age comes into play because you've been on Earth for 68 years. But if it was age, then both knees would be hurting. One knee is hurting because it might be out of alignment, along with 68 years on Earth and blowing it out skiing and all, so there's a bunch of things that could come into play. But your age being sold to us that the older you get, the weaker you have to get is absolutely just not true, especially with all the stuff that's out there now. I mean, my office here is set up with 4 major biohacking pieces of equipment that I use every day. But I would never try to do that without getting my body back into some semblance of alignment, which is what we'll talk about today.
Absolutely. And what is very beautiful is that you're breaking people's beliefs, false beliefs, with a questioning. And this is the best way. You're not confronting them with the facts and all science data. You're just asking them normal questions.
Well, let me just help you with not help you, but help the listener with the language. You just said you're helping people with their misbeliefs. It is their belief.
Yeah, it is.
So if we can change that from, oh, that's a misbelief, or that's a misnomer, or that's a myth, because those are negative based. If we could change it to, I understand that's what you believe now. Give me 5 minutes and watch what happens. And then I ask them a very smart question. I used to ask a dumb question. How do you feel? And they're like, well, nope, I still feel it. Well, meanwhile, it was an 8 5 minutes ago. Now it's a 1, but they still feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not gone. So my better question is, what's different about your shoulder movement now? Allow them to see the 7-point drop. Allow them to see walking more range of motion. Allow them to feel getting out of a chair is different or better.
Whenever you come to the salesperson will tell you, I know how to help you. We are having perfect solution for you. But in fact, you have a great product, you have a great offer, you know that you can help so many people, but yourself still inconsistent. Why it's like that? Because you misunderstand 2 basic principles. And let me tell you something, it's not economy, it's not war, it's not current president or political situation, none of that. Because simply you and money were always on the same planet Earth. You never left the planet and most likely money never did it, right? The only 2 ways are the reason why it's like that. Number 1 thing which can be the reason is that you don't know the right way of presenting your offer. Number 2 can be that you don't know the proper way to whom to present it, which boils down to you don't know to whom to sell, or you don't know the right way to speak to the people to whom to sell. I have been scaling in the past 10 years multiple of my own companies and companies of my clients from $0 to $200,000 in sales, being in China, selling physical, perishable items like food and beverages, and without speaking Chinese, without writing Chinese, and without knowing how to sell to Chinese people. But I knew one core principle, and this is that psychology of people never change. So I knew to whom to sell, and I knew exact way how to present my offer to them. I was scaling up my digital businesses to hundreds of thousands of dollars, again understanding 2 core principles: to whom to sell, so who can benefit from my offer, and the way, when, and how to present my offer. And there is no magic and there is no secret behind that. It's really easy to understand it. But in order to this video be very short, I put all of this together in the school community, which is completely for free. You can join it right now, clicking on the link below in the description box, and you can discover these 2 principles. It will take you a couple of days to figure it out yourself and to practice it, and then your sales will become consistent. Until then, see you in the school community. Bye for now. That's very powerful. You're changing their frame. Give me a little bit of context. How many times should you change somebody's frame in order to get exactly to them understand that they had a fake belief at the first place?
So let me make sure I understand your question. How many times does it take for them to kind of solidify or change the pattern?
That's right.
Well, I don't really give them a choice. You have to come in, like my hat says, blessed. You have to come in from a place of, wow, Brian, my knee or my back feels so much better. Brian, you're really good at what you do. My answer should be, because my mother brought me up right, thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. My answer now is this, I know. And then I wait. That answer, it's cocky, it's arrogant, it's confident. But the key around the entire thing is I'm that way because I stop them from talking at that moment and say, aren't you curious as to why I gave you that answer? Well, yes, it's kind of funny you answered it like that. I have to be this good because you're on the receiving end of what I'm doing. So you understand that I still made it about them. It cannot be about me. Brian, you're so good at what you do. You know, and I'll pull the old stop it, stop it, stop it, and I'll laugh a little bit. But I've got to come back to them and say, aren't you curious as to why I'm this good? Because I had a choice. I could be shitty at what I do, but I choose not to be. Because you're on the receiving end, and I'm trying to get you to understand that fear is not an option if you understand the facts and you understand what's in front of you and you understand compelling future. But if they don't see any of those, Zach or Nick, then they're in some serious trouble.
That's for sure. And I love the way you're orienting always towards them. One thing you said right now, you have a certainty. When I said to my team that I personally invited you on the podcast, one of the first sentences I heard from them was, Brian Bradley, he's really certain in what stuffs he's talking about, and he really stands for his points. Where this certainty comes from? How long did it take to you become that certain?
I tell my therapist when we hire somebody new and they're all freaked out about something, and I said, good, fake it till you make it. Well, what do you mean? If you just stay focused on the result for the client, customer, patient sitting in front of you, then even if something goes awry, but your focus is on their success, the client will feel your care and love for them. That's where I went for however many years. And then I started doing a lot of public speaking about 30 years ago. And my first major one was at a Tony Robbins event in Cancun. When my business partner goes, yeah, I'm not going to do this talk. You go ahead and get on stage. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He goes, get on stage. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? He goes, are you serious? What do we do for a living? Done. At that moment, I just realized all I know is posture. All I know is how it relates to pain. And all I know is the increase in performance that automatically comes with it. So if you can get that certainty based around a statement that Bruce Lee said years ago, I fear the man or woman who practiced that one kick 100,000 times. Now I'm paraphrasing because I know he didn't say 100,000. It's like 10,000. I don't really fear the man who practiced a bunch of stuff a couple times. So you want to fear the guy that's been boxing for 15 years and has a form down. That's the person you fear because they're in it to win it. They're not just coming in going, dancing on stage, trying to make a show for the camera. When I speak at these large events, my largest one was this year in January, 1.8 million people on Zoom. It was like some type of record that we did. When you're looking into a camera and you know there's almost 2 million people out there, you know, if you gave that to somebody right out of college, they might be thinking about the 2 million people. I'm thinking about the one person who's looking in the camera going, does this guy care about me? He must be an expert because he's on this show, but does he care about me? And because I care about them, I'll take that one person who says, I have a degenerative hip. Have you ever worked with a degenerative hip? And my answer is, I've worked with 10,000 degenerative hips, but I haven't seen yours. So let's take a look. All of a sudden, it takes away the, wow, this guy's an expert and looked at everybody. It's no, he's truly interested in what my body is doing. And when you can break that pattern, then people start down the road of, he's very confident, very certain, very non-arrogant, not judgmental. And all he wants is me to have results. And Nick, that's the big deal. I don't care if it's financial. Like I'm trying to teach my kids about some financial stuff. But I said, if you're focused on the money, it's not coming.
Mm-hmm.
If you're focused on the result to the person sitting in front of you, they will spend their trust currency because they value you and they trust you. They're not spending it before then.
Absolutely. And this is actually the real ethical point of doing a business, and that's how it should be all around the world. When you said 1.8 million people live on Zoom, these numbers are probably dream numbers for 99% of entrepreneurs in the world. What is the feeling when you exit in front of that big virtual stage?
Well, first of all, you're speaking into a camera to see that. So it's like you and I speaking right now into a camera. I know you're the one receiving this, but all I'm thinking about is how many hundreds of thousands of people are going to be listening to your podcast and doing this. So it's the same thing. We're just having a real conversation. It's when you go to something like, I have an event coming up in Cologne, Germany with Tony, a UPW event, and I have one in Anaheim. That'll be 15 to 30,000 people in person plus online. So it could be upwards of 70,000 people. But it's the one sitting in front of you. The eye contact that you make with the 10-year-old 2 rows back and their parents. And then you see the upper echelon where you can't see anybody back there. But I'm going, hey, upper deck, what's going on? And then you hear them start to talk. It's try to make everyone feel inclusive. And when you focus on that, there's no fear. It's what am I fearful of? And if we really go deep, my fear is self-created. I don't feel confident enough about me, so I feel like they're judging me. Whereas I invite it. Please judge me. Please ask me a difficult question. Please ask me how full of shit I am so I can have a real discussion with you. And then by the time we're done, it can go one of two ways, but I'd rather have it go, the first way, which is we're good friends and I've created a raving fan and you're a zealot and you're putting me on more stuff. And yeah.
Love it. We will speak a lot today about what you're doing right now and especially about Tony Robbins and about your shirt as well. I will leave this for a while. But let's go a little bit now backwards. People already felt your certainty in the first several minutes, and you're one of the guests who really can transfer this energy to me, and I can feel it. And this is what I love, when conversation goes on both ways, and when I can truly receive and put myself in the shoes of where you're driving me on that journey. Let's go all the way back to childhood. What was your childhood relationship with yourself, with your body, and what is the moment you shaped into the Brian Bradley we know today?
You know the word significance, right? Like if a person is either they don't have significance or they do, it's almost like they view themselves as a significant human on this planet? Are they making a difference? I had such insignificance fears because I class clown, joking around, all that kind of stuff. I was the one of 5 kids. I was the one in the middle, so I could hide a little bit. But I was always the one who joked around and made people laugh.
Wow.
For example, my mother passed away right before an event with Tony, UPW, New Jersey. 15,000 people. I'm getting ready to go on stage the next morning and have a booth and talk to people and all that. I get a call from my sister and says, Mom's probably not going to make it through the weekend. I go, oh my gosh. Like, there's 15,000 people here. They're expecting me to be on stage. I'm like, okay. So I drove home and I told my colleague, I said, listen, you got this for 3 days. I'll be back on Sunday to speak on stage. I drove out to the house 4 hours away, showed up at 4 a.m. in the morning. And, I'm loving my mom. My sisters and brothers there. We're all great to be a little reunion together. I'm checking her pulse at her foot. And the pulse is going, boom, boom, boom. And I'm going, she is not dying anytime soon. This girl has blood pressure that's definitely pushing to the furthest points away from her body. And so I whispered to her, my sisters and brothers there, I go, Mom, listen, it's Brian. She's like, oh. I go, hey, I'm here. Love you, blah, blah, blah. I said, but I got to tell you, this is very inconvenient. I have a huge amount of people waiting for me. So if you can do anything about this, if you're going to pass away, can you do it before Sunday or maybe make it Monday or Tuesday? Now, my sister smacks me My other sister's laughing. My brother's on the ground, buckled over, laughing because he knows we're just joking around. My mom starts laughing, which sounds like she's choking. But that's how you make light of that moment. That's how I dealt with it. But if I had to miss it because she passed away, there's no question I would have missed whatever. My mom came first. But the universe speaks. My mother passed away at like 11:40 on Saturday, which allowed me to grab my brother and take him with me on Sunday. So when you talk about childhood, my mother and I were very close my entire life, like really close. She's the one that would be like, you're sick in the head. I did this to you and blah, 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 because I had such a crazy sense of humor. But it shapes who you are now so that when somebody asks you a question, there's no fear behind the question. I don't fear that Nick is going to ask me a question that's going to stump me or embarrass me, because I know his purpose, yours, in the short amount of time I've known you, is to help your listeners and to help the people share it with other people because the message is that strong.
Absolutely.
So when you have me on this podcast, I look at it and say, Nick is so lucky. And I don't mean that in a, Nick, I know that, but I don't need you to say that, but because I'm not saying it from I need him to tell me that.
I know.
Or I'm not being cocky. I'm literally saying the message is so strong for people to change their mind and then back it up with a body that backs up the mind. It's a literal game changer as they get older. They don't realize what they're not tapping into. And it's my job, my literal job on this planet to say, what if you could do this, which allowed you to take a hit emotionally like this versus like this.
And that's very powerful what you're speaking here, because one thing I want to ask you now to you break us down. As I understand, you are taking your will of choice to choose between how will you feel, to choose between how will you react to the situation in every certain moment.
Yes.
And is your life entirely led by that choice, that you always choose, all right, it's bad moment, but I can turn it a little bit differently?
100%. Master Co is a pranic healer who does a lot of meditation talks at the big events. Great guy, but a very high-level table tennis player. And my coach in table tennis is Serbian. So, Serbian coach teaching me how to play table tennis. I better get it right or I have to hear the Serbian coach. You know what it's like, right? So I look at the situations like this, and I could lose 3 or 4 games. The game is a metaphor for any situation. Absolutely. The game is a metaphor for my teenager talking back to me, my teenager wrecking the car, failing a class, my investments going down. We all have choices to go, how do we view this? Now, I'm pretty blessed because I've created the world like that. There are people who aren't blessed yet that they can't see it. So when my mother and father passed away before COVID, what was the benefit? That I didn't have to lose them during COVID and not be able to have a funeral for them and not be able, that would have been horrific. And there are people around the world who went through that. So there's a blessing that they passed away just before COVID. That is a metaphor for any situation. So when I lose in a sport, I played in a tournament last weekend in Florida, a pickleball tournament, pretty high up. But the guy I played with, I never played with before. But when he lost a point, he lost it here.
Yeah, and that is the problem.
And I couldn't get him back. So we took a beating and I went home early. What did I do? I went to a restaurant. I had a massive set of barbecue ribs to make myself feel better. Like, oh, these are so good. These are so good. And then I said to myself, well, I can go back to the hotel. You know what? I don't feel like I'm done playing yet. I called another facility and they said, yeah, we have open play till midnight tonight. I went over and played for another 2 hours with some very high 5-0 level players, which changed the whole outcome of the day.
Yeah, and at the end of the day was completely different assumption of that day than in that certain moment. Absolutely brilliant. When you say Serbian coach you have, I'm originally from Serbia, and you may guess that I'm a huge fan of Novak Djokovic. I truly believe when it comes to the mindset that he's one of the sport people who is incredibly solid with his mindset and the way how he played on the mental level. You're bringing down here the will of choice. How much do you believe that it's a self-control and discipline inside you when it comes to certain situations, and how much you just let your feeling drives you in the percentage way? Can you break me down this?
Absolutely. And 2 athletic performances, maybe 3. The first one is, if you haven't watched the docuseries or seen the movie with about the Williams sisters, when Venus and Serena were coming up, and these are the biggest names, they're going to take over tennis. And then one of the sisters ended up playing another pro who was getting crushed. And they're going, this is going to be the next one. And she calls timeout. And timeout. And timeout. And it just kept ticking. So that the other player on the other side didn't see the gift in the timeout. It got to her psychology and completely switched the game to the other person ended up winning the game, the whole match.
Yeah.
Now, that was a great learning situation for the Williams sisters because they learned from that and became the best in the world. The second one would be Conor McGregor. You look at the Khabib fight, literally punished in the Khabib fight like no other. I got him 2 weeks before his next fight and said, you make these changes, this is what's going to happen. One of the smartest fighters I've ever experienced or athletes I've ever worked with, where he said, I'm in, I feel so much better. And he came into the next fight not like this. He came in like this, shoulders in a better position. Now he can throw a punch from his hip rather than from his hand. And it completely changed the outlook, and he wins in 44 seconds. Not only because of the physical change, but because the radical emotional difference between the 2 fights. He started to see the love of the fight. He started to see the love of the experience. He started to see and feel the love of what an opportunity.
He started enjoying the moments.
Exactly. And remember, those fighters have taken multiple hits to the head. So none of them are going to be 100% right up here. I get it. That's the CTE stuff that the NFL is dealing with too. But if you can get them to emotionally control, now you have a fighter that says that was supposed to happen that way. The next round is different.
Brian, tell me how shaped you who you are personally and business-wise, working with so many high achievers. You have been working with Tony Robbins for more than 20 years, Conor McGregor, right? And you can name other names as well. And tell me how this changed who you are personally and how much you learned from them working with them.
Yes, and that is the key. The second part of that is don't go in as the expert. Go in as, thank you for allowing me to talk. This is Conor. I'm talking to Conor. And I said, Conor, where do you think power comes from? And he goes, puts his fist up and goes, right here, mate. Let me tell you, this is where power comes from. And I said, in your last fight, it did, which is why you got crushed. Don't get upset at me. I'm just here stating the facts. And I'm joking with him. I said, but I'm going to give you 2 moves that give you this. So I had him throw a couple punches, boom, boom, boom. 19 other fighters and coaches around him. And then I gave him 2 exercises that changed his body's position, like literally completely.
The posture.
The posture was like that, even if temporary. And I said, now throw the punch. And instead of it being boom, 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 it was pa, pa, pa. It was 10 times faster. It was more power, to where his boxing coach goes, there's the old Conor that we used to know. All because he was able to distribute, and he clearly understood that I was there for him, not there for me. I lose nothing if I leave there and he doesn't believe me. Okay. But he does. And one of the smartest athletes and coaches I've been around, his coach John, where they said, change your, and I have pictures of all that, change your posture, blah, 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 do this. With our NFL teams the same way. And for me, looking at this, where did I learn this kind of stuff? Who mentored this kind of stuff? I have a bunch of mentors, but you need to shut up and listen if you truly want to be mentored. Stop talking. And this is me saying that, who I love the sound of my own voice, Nick. Like, I love to talk. But if you're not in a situation just sitting back listening, then you're never going to really know the intention or the direction that you need to go.
Absolutely, certainly. Yep. That's actually very deep, because the thing is, if you show to them every moment that you are there for them, not for you, not for scoring one more name on your list with whom you worked, and in the same time you put your posture down and said, like, let me listen first to you, to hear what I can see from you and where the deeper problem lies, not only in the surface level. This gives you unfair advantage among all of the people who are doing pretty much the same or similar thing you do.
And then I require them at the end, when it makes sense, hey, Nick, what did I just tell you? Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. Does that make sense to you? Oh, yeah, Brian, this is going to be a game changer. Get ready, because now I'm going to ask you for the commitment. I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do for yourself? And because you understand and respect everything I was talking about, correct? And I'm shaking my head, yes, correct. And they're going, yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for coming out here. I go, oh, I'm not done yet. We're not done. And we're in the upstairs of the UFC fighting gym in Vegas. I said, we're not finished. Now I start to get a little bit more serious. I'm going to require you to do this. You have 2 weeks to get ready for this next fight. I hear that you're committed. Prove it. Commit to yourself and prove it. You're not committing to me. Either way, my life goes back to normal tomorrow. I fly back home. What are you willing to do? And he's like, I'm in. I'm in. And the same thing with my football players. The same thing with my son who plays college soccer. Going to play. We might be bringing him over to Europe, so we may see you sooner or later. Over there to play in Spain or somewhere else. Great. What are you willing to do to commit to this? Not just look how great I am as a soccer player. That's the wrong attitude to walk into that place. You can know it. Just don't show it. Walk in like Messi does. Walk in at Messi was this tall, right? And then he went through the growth hormone stuff and all that. But he knew on the field, I have something to prove, and I have a talent that's unbelievable. They all do. Unlock that talent and then back it up with your belief system. And listen, in the chronic pain world, Nick, which is where I live, when you can break someone's mentality that they're stuck and get them to understand that pain is just a signal. It's over. Once they hear it, they can't go back. Pain will try to. Pain is like the devil. Oh, you need to go lay down and quit your job and don't do this and complain and be depressed. Meanwhile, you have a tool of exercises, the toolbox over here that says, what would Brian do? Oh, Brian would get up and do the exercises. Then they get up and do the exercises. Their energy comes back. Their confidence comes back, even if it's for a short window, but they start to feel better. And now they see value in getting their body back to this again. And then they walk into a room and command the room much differently than a person who's cowering like this walking into a room. Because I can tell you, my friend Tony does not enter stage like this going, hey, welcome to UP. No, come on. I see him backstage. He's prepping because he knows I've got 25,000 people out there who need 100% of me. Let's go.
That's absolutely true. And his energy, it's that explosional that he rises the audience, even in his age right now. And the guy's doing this for the past, 40, 45 years, which is absolutely unimaginable scale of the days and daily routine required to be in such energy, in such a shape. And, like, if I go just back to my thinking about my parents or about my neighbors, none of them in that age can nearly do energy presence on the stage like Tony used to do and still doing. I found somewhere in some of your interviews where you said that the body is the subconscious mind. I could relate to that until the point where I raised the question, wait a second, what exactly he tried to say that body is the subconscious mind. Can you articulate me that a little bit deeper?
So for those people that aren't watching a video, and I don't know if this is going to be video or just audio, but think about every time that I said to you, if I walk into a room like this or I walk into a room like this, if I'm rotated and I'm rounded over, almost like a dog that's been beat a little bit, which I can't stand, by the way. That's one of my hot buttons. So we need to protect those animals, right? But if he's rounded over like this, he just needs to be, hey, it's okay. And then they start to open up. The subconscious takes over because once chronic pain hits and limitations hit and being told you're not good enough and being told you'll always be fat and being told that blah, 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 blah hits, our belief system psychologically starts to feed into that mentality. And then you start to identify with that belief system and it needs to be unwound.
It's like a self-sabotage posture.
And it's an unconscious self-sabotage. Because you didn't wake up in the morning and say, I want to feel like crap today. You woke up going, I hope today's going to be better. Well, there's a big hole in hope. HOPE. We need to switch that to, I'm in charge. I'm going to do my exercises today. I'm going to put food in my system that works for me. Like today, I'm going to post on my Instagram and Facebook in regards to something I made on my grill out back. Grass-fed, grass-finished beef with pastured eggs, that are much healthier. And people are like, wow, that's a lot of fat that's in there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And when you start looking at the research, that's where the health of that type of food comes from. So it's just a change of belief system. But you better be educated. Don't just accept it because I said so. But that's why I keep saying stuff, Nick, like when I meet people and they're like, I said, well, I'm a year and a half away from 60. They're like, what? And I don't look for the, oh, tell me how pretty I am. I don't need that. What I need you to do is feel the shock of you're 3 years younger than me and you can't do this. Unacceptable.
Yeah, how you did it, right? That's the correct way.
Yep.
Brian, when you was now explaining those stuffs, there is one thing, and I don't want to people misunderstand it. You touched the point of pain. And I don't want to anybody think that we should suppress the pain emotion and to try to fake it with some other emotion or a posture. So give me a connection between pain and suppressed emotion. Okay,
perfect. Are you able to stand up where you are?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is the first time ever I'm standing up on this podcast, and we're going to make it a little bit more excitable. So I'll take my camera. Yeah, I can, of course.
Yes, absolutely. Do that and take your shoes off. If you have shoes on, take the shoes off.
Absolutely. They're already off. And I will use my chair.
So what I want you to do, and are they going to be able to see me or is this just audio?
They're seeing you as well, and I'm looking at you on my screen, but my camera is right here.
Great. I'm going to show you guys in a second. I'll get up and show you what I want them to do too. So anybody listening and watching this, just try this because this is an emotional question like, is there anything we can do to change A, how I feel, but B, mindset? So just stand there for a second. You don't have to hold your phone, right? Or your video?
Pretty much I have to, but like now we will do something else.
Yeah, that's great. Let them see the microphone. Who cares? We're good.
Well, I don't mind about this. This is the first time ever that we are recording something like that. So yeah, they can see me right now. Perfect.
Okay, so now everybody stand up, take your shoes off, and I want you to just close your eyes.
All right.
Let your arms hang. Look straight ahead with your eyes closed, like you don't have to tilt your head down. Now, right there. Feel your body weight into the floor. Do you feel like it's even on one side versus the other, or is one foot carrying more weight than the other?
I would say that right one is carrying more than the other.
More weight in the back of the foot or more weight in the front of the foot? Are they even? Is one in the heel and one in the front, or are they even?
Heel.
Okay, so you're more weight on the right side with weight in your heels.
That's right.
Okay, now I want you to think about this too. Are you able to turn sideways? We can't really see you, who cares? Just slowly bend over to touch your toes. And you don't have to go all the way over, just what's it feel like going down toward your toes?
Okay. That's normal.
And come back up.
Yes.
So you can face me again. For those of you listening and trying this yourself, you may have gotten to your knees. You may have gotten really 6 inches from the ground. Some of you may have your palms on the ground. That's okay. I'm not worried about distance as much as I am how did it feel.
It was feeling quite normal.
Okay, so now with your eyes closed again, I want you to think about the crappiest, most difficult situation that's ever happened to you in your life.
Okay.
You don't have to tell me what it is, just think about it. Something that you try to avoid.
Sure. All right.
Let it emotionally back in the room. Let it come back in, let it get a hold of you.
Okay.
Feel it. Feel it. And now give it a color.
Okay.
Okay. Open up your eyes.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to take your feet and I want you to do this. I want you to take your feet, and I'm going to have to move this because it's my phone. Hold on. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Just to switch off from the camera for the moment. We are not seeing you.
Yep, got it. I'm going to take you. So you're going to stand up back here, and here's you standing, and I'm going to show you my feet in a second. I want you to, well, you'll like these socks. They're perfect for what your podcast is showing. So
cool.
You see that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
They're on
So I
fire.
want you to take your feet and put them together like this.
All right. Here I have them.
Now, keeping your feet in that position, then I want you to interlace your hands behind your head like this.
All right.
Drop the shoulders.
Okay.
Pull your elbows back. And push your knees back.
Okay.
So tighten up your thigh muscles.
Yeah.
Keeping your feet pigeon toes. You're going to hold this and your feet there with your legs tight standing for 1 minute.
All right. Here we have it.
And now's when we play the music, like elevator music, like do, 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 do. Okay, so here we go. We hold this for a minute. What we're doing is we're taking your body and putting it into a different physical state.
Yeah, which pretty much probably never was in that state.
That's correct. So it's closer to this picture behind me, where your body's in alignment.
Yep.
Right? So this is an artificial state. You can't walk around your hometown with your feet pigeon-toed and your hands on your head, but you can do this. You can do this exercise once in a while to go, I need to feel a little different because I'm going to prove to you what 60 seconds of doing this could do for your range of motion, your balance, and your emotion.
All right.
So you got about 20 seconds left.
Cool.
And for those of you out there, if you said, well, putting my hands on my head, pulling them back like that really hurts my shoulder, you can lower your arms down a little bit, to make it a little easier. Or my knee hurts when I do this. Don't turn your feet in as much. There's things you can do to change it. Because at the moment, your body may not accept it, but in a month, it may accept it.
Absolutely. They can survive. 1 minute is not much.
Exactly. Okay, so now relax. Put your hands down. Put your feet back to normal.
All right.
Now, just close your eyes. Look straight ahead with your eyes closed, which I know is an anomaly there. That's kind of weird, but I don't want your head tilted down. So what's changed about the body weight from front to back, left to right?
I would say that now it's even, man. And no joke in that.
Okay. Now bend over, touch your toes. Turn sideways.
All right. Oh, yeah. And I feel that
Tell me about that.
I can do it with a less, let's say, like with a less force.
Okay, a little easier for you to move down there, less tight.
Absolutely, less tight, definitely.
Okay, now, standing there, close your eyes.
All right.
Go back to that negative situation. Let it back in. Let it emotionally get a hold of you. Welcome it back.
Sure.
Feel it. And now give it a color.
Okay.
And I dare you to make it the same color as it was before.
Okay.
So what was different about the color?
The color was more clear.
How about the feeling of the shitty situation? Did it emotionally have its hands around you like it did before?
I can feel that the situation now is not that scary like it was.
Think about, okay, come back over and sit down.
Yeah. I can feel myself that the situation itself, it's not in that threatened like it was at the very moment.
So think about anybody who's listening to this, who's in a really tough situation. I just put something on my story on Facebook or something yesterday when Tony had the kid that was suicidal and he had him talk about his red shoes.
Oh
And the
yeah,
kid starts, yeah, and
I
the kid
have
starts
watched that
smiling.
one.
Yep. And he laughs and he goes, whoa, 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 be careful. You're suicidal. You shouldn't be laughing. Right? Because he got him to change his state. So what you did is you just physiologically changed your state, even for a short amount of time, allowed your physical movement to get easier, allowed your emotional reaction to a bad situation to be less. Now, here's a critical situation. Sitting is being proposed as the new cancer, the new smoking. It's very bad for you.
Yep, and we're hearing it daily. Literally,
And
if
you
you
and I,
go on social media and
yes,
scroll, everybody talks about bad posture of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are sitting most of the time. They should be standing and doing. And must tell you, one of the person who was on this podcast, I will not name it right now, they installed a treadmill below their table. They raised their table, so now this person is consistently walking on a treadmill and doing the stuffs on the laptop. And I said, like, is this something what I'm willing to do? Probably no.
or what if your bad posture is still bad when you're sitting? And what if you're taking bad posture into the treadmill working desk? You're still in bad posture.
Absolutely, because subconsciously you can pick up that posture, not knowing that it's bad actually, because you don't see
That's
yourself on the
correct.
side. Yep.
And let's change the word from bad. Because the body's just trying to get from point A to point B. So it's not really bad. It's just a less efficient alignment.
Yeah. Probably in that moment comfortable.
Yes. So all of a sudden, what's different about the chair you're sitting in right now?
Oh, now I'm feeling myself different, and I should do that. I feel that I'm having more energy, man. I should do these exercises on the podcast.
Yes. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of I should,
I will. Yeah.
I am going to serve myself and give myself an unfair advantage by doing some of these exercises.
Absolutely. And it's one thing which I realized, and I just this is perfect intro now in the next topic which I wanted to break down. Here is the thing. I will need to give you a little bit of context, and then I will ask you the question.
Yep.
I'm the person who was avoiding gym for a very long time. I have 34. I was avoiding gym for 32 years. Simply because somewhere wrong belief was I'm already a big person. Do I really need to pump it up myself and to look even more bigger? But then I realized that, and most of the people don't know that this is probably my first time I'm sharing this here. And I'm glad that it's in episode with you, Brian. I lost my father at my 24 due to bad habits. A lot of smoking, here and there, some drink, never being drunk, but consistent compound effect of shot here, shot there, eating unhealthy canned food, processed food, stressful work as an engineering construction field, and I haven't took that seriously, but it changed a lot of my life and direction of my life. At 32, I lost my mom. This was 2 years ago due to breast cancer. And again, looking a little bit backwards, consistent obesity, facing ups and downs, a lot of smoking. And I said to myself 2 years ago, all right, speaking about genetical predispositions, and we will speak about that, I probably don't have the best ones for long life and for healthiest life if I'm taking them from the parent side. But wait a moment, I changed everything in my life. I literally don't do university, which I finished and which my parents forcibly paid to I finish. I'm an electronical engineer. I'm not doing that job for already so many years. I changed the environment. I changed where I come from. I changed with whom I'm working. Before I was working with people who were broke and very hard to charge and very hard to work. Now I'm working with 7, 8, 9 figure entrepreneurs. I changed everything around myself. Why I shouldn't change that? So I stopped drinking and quit drinking all sodas, all energy drinks. I never smoke and I'm not even thinking about that. I put myself on the water, only on the water and black coffee. I started taking supplements quite a lot, and we will speak about that. And I started going to gym 3 times in a week. The first week was damn hard to push myself to take supplements morning, noon, and evening to be consistent in that. Was damn hard to spend 15 minutes in sauna. Was damn hard to go in the gym and to rise the bells because I was new. I was even looking, oh my God, I'm looking stupid. Then I'm taking my phone and checking on the YouTube how they do it. They do it like this and they do it like that. Okay, I'll try to repeat. I didn't know the proper exercises. 2 years after, I lost more than 17 kilos. For all of you guys who don't know in pounds, probably close to 35, 40 pounds. I live best my life physically, how I feel myself emotionally more than ever. And I realized that such a small tweak, which was in that moment hard, as a compound effect over 2 years, it pushed to be such a big one. Here is the question, what I want to ask you. How much of our genetics really defines who we are and how we go through life, through challenges and through pain? And how much is this of excuse in ourselves just to blame somebody else and not doing anything about it?
Ooh. Here's my non-politically correct, instinctual answer.
You can do it. We are friendly to that.
I don't care. We don't have a relationship with our genetics. I have a relationship with you sitting in front of me. I have a relationship with your belief that you are your father. And he died early. And my mom died early. So I'm going to die early. So my first discussion with you would be this. What if you didn't die early?
Yeah.
What would your life be like? What would your life be like if you did live blah, 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 blah? What would your life be like if you did lose 35, 40 pounds? Oh, I would be this. I'd be this. And you start smiling. I'd be this. Hold on to that moment right there. And that every single day you wake up, you can't just David Goggins it where you go, I'm going to do it. Get out there, pussy. And I love David. But some people can't do that. They're not Navy SEAL mentality. What they can do is wake up and say, I deserve this. That's really what you did.
100%.
I deserve this.
And change entire paradigm.
100%, because now it's not a responsibility. It's not an obligation. I have enough stuff on my table. I don't need more shit to do. I take more supplements than any man on the planet, probably. I'm very, very focused on what I put in. Even how much butter, what type of coffee that I drink, how much butter's in that coffee, coconut oil, collagen protein powder, all that stuff. Ketones, they're absolute game changers because I choose for them to be game changers. That means I'm focused on the result. Imagine you going through another version of you going through all the work you put in, but wasn't focused on, did it work? How do I feel today? If they just did it and, I'm just going to do it, they'd never be excited about the results. They'd go, yeah, okay, that's great. But you're very excited about the result. And you've reversed the mindset of, I have bad genetics. Because let's be honest, I'm not changing your genetic makeup. So why do I even care to answer that question? It's a fair question because people are out there asking it. But it's like this I love bunion shirts. Bunions happen because the body, you hit the floor wrong with your foot, you roll to the inside, and then it forms a bone, almost like a callus, and all of a sudden you have this extra toe sitting off the inside of your foot. Like, people hate it. It's very painful, blah, blah, blah. My job is to say, I love bunions. Why do you love a bunion?
We were speaking before the show about that. Please go.
Yes, but I love the bunion because it tells me how much that hip is not working. Can you imagine what will happen to your foot when your hip turns back on again? And it has to happen instantaneously. Like with your hands behind your head, how you felt differently after that. We need to get somebody to feel it today. That's the secret about our business. You got to feel it so that you can say, yeah, immediate impact. So they can walk around going, wow, when I put my hands on my head and I walk across my room, I'm no longer pushing off the inside of my foot. I'm hitting my foot correctly, but I can't walk around Serbia like this. Yeah. I can't walk around San Diego like this. So what I'd rather have people do is make that 2 millimeter emotional shift, get your exercises done on a daily basis, even if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 of them correctly. I'll help you with that. And for example, anyone listening to this podcast or watching it who says, well, how do I do this? Look, get on my Instagram or email me, and I will get you information that says, here's how I can take a look at you, and then here are some options from a book to doing digital therapy to doing Zoom like we're doing now. I don't care where you live, I can take a look at you somehow. And what do I get out of it? Even if you don't become part of my program, I now have you talking about it.
Absolutely.
So,
and you're
tell your
making that
friends.
impact. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Brian, one episode which I did and conversation I had, it was brilliant conversation with Dan Brulé, a breathwork coach. He said to me that we can control a lot of our emotions and a lot of how we feel ourselves with a simple breath working. I know that you also are very close to breathworks, and I want you give us a context of, for you and for your clients, how breath which role play in emotional controls, and how do you feel it? And is this something what you recommend to your clients, to high entrepreneurs, high achievers, to people who work under a lot of stress?
Absolutely, but it's useless training.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a context in which way?
So think about let's say we have nothing but breath coaches on listening to this. I just said that your work sucks. I don't really mean it sucks. It's amazing.
I get it.
But if a person who's out of this alignment behind me, if your body's in this position and you're trying to breathe correctly, you're trying to push through a concrete wall. You've got to get your body into a position where your diaphragm can now become the major mover.
So we're coming to the position where the posture is the foundation for something what you want to practice later on, similar to yoga, similar to other meditations and stuffs. What is the biggest posture mistake successful people are making before they start working with you?
They're first of all, they don't even recognize it until you take a picture of them, and then they go, I'm starting to look like my grandfather. Oh no. And I'm like, don't panic. We're going to change that in about the next 60 seconds, and then you'll feel it and see it. Now, it may not hold the whole time, so you might have to do it again and again and again and again tomorrow, the next day, whatever. But that's like brushing your teeth. Your teeth will get cleaner after 30 days, not just after one day. So do a little bit of work for a maximal cumulative effect down the road.
Does posture in any correlation with self-confidence?
100%.
Right?
True self-confidence, not
active.
I'm going to walk an angry young man walking into a bar like this is looking for a fight because he's truly not self-confident. He's insignificant and he's trying to fight someone to feel significant.
Which truly can say that we pay a really big price ignoring our body posture and ignoring the way how we actually present ourselves in any sphere of business conversations.
100%. You have to put yourself in a position where your body is working for you, so your mind and your emotions are working for you. Otherwise, you're just in a chronic fight.
You have been speaking somewhere I found, and I'm sorry if I've wrongly pronounced it, about Egoscue Method. Can you explain me how does it actually work? What is it? And
here it is above people. That's my rebrand up there.
Posture X, yeah?
Yeah, so we're going into Posture RX, which is in the US, RX stands for a prescription. Let me give you an RX. That's a prescription. So here's a prescription for your posture. So before we started the rebrand, we were focused on just that name. Well, first of all, how do you spell it? How do you say it? Who is it? How did it start? So I'd go through 5 or 6 questions before ever getting to, can you help my knee? Now with this rebrand, somebody says they look at it, they look at me, they listen, they look up, and they go, can you help my knee? That's the only question they ask. So the whole method is based on put the body back into alignment, 90 degrees, and all of a sudden the balance comes back.
Mm.
That's the entire thing. No more simple than that. In fact, the guy that came up with Egoscue is a gentleman who discovered it out of the Vietnam War. And looking at those things, it's no more simple than that. Like comparatively to myself and other practitioners, I got lucky at university and passed all my tests, got my degree, but I didn't learn anything, Nick, because I had to self-teach later, especially being on stages, that I didn't want to be wrong when somebody said, yeah, but the rotator cuff and the serratus anterior and the trap do this. And then I'm going, okay, the serratus anterior, the trap, and I have to go through this in my head and the rotator cuff. I'm like, correct. So then, now it's just second nature, but I go, okay, but just a question for you. There's muscles all over this place in your shoulder, down here, all that stabilize the shoulder, including the bicep. The bicep attaches to the shoulder blade. So where your shoulder is affects how much growth you'll get in the bicep. Yep. So if your shoulder's here, you can do all the bicep curls you want, but it's never going to develop the way you want because the other position's out.
100%.
So what I learned for the last 34 years is this. Yes, you have your supraspinatus, infraspinatus, subscapularis, teres minor. All those four are your rotator cuff muscles. They're like, who cares? They're like little muscles like this, holding onto the joint going, we'll help stabilize you. We'll allow functional movement. Really? Not if the shoulder sits here and the head's up here like that. Because now all of the stress is on those rotator cuff muscles, and they're too small to pick up what the big deltoid should be doing.
Yeah, so the shoulder should go all the way back. That's the secret of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was speaking about that, how he managed to get his biceps to be back that time one of the biggest in the world. You speak a lot about.
Well, there may have been some enhancements that also helped, but we won't talk about that.
Absolutely, and we both agree on that. I had the chance to be in his house in Graz, where he grew up and lived until 18 or 19 years old. Now this is a museum, and you can see all these dumbbells and all this equipment he used in that time. And there is no way under the sun that this was all natural work, because all this equipment looks pretty beginner friendly, and there is no even significant weight on them. But yeah. Anyway, Brian, you speak a lot about health in compound with posture, in compound with mindset. And this is probably the best trio of longevity. Let's go a little bit about you, solely. How your morning routine look like, and what does it matter, and how your morning routine rule your day?
Great question. First of all, I do one or two quick things in bed where I'm just laying there and I put my legs and shoulders into place. And, there's a reason why when you stretch, when somebody says they're yawning and stretching, when they get out of bed, they don't go, oh, they go, ah. They go into a phasic extension mechanism, not flexion mechanism. So my body in the morning craves that extension mechanism. So I give it to it. I'll do a couple things like my arm circles and all that stuff to bring myself into that. So here's what it is. Get out of bed. Walk downstairs, put on the molecular hydrogen. Okay, the hydrogen water is boosting now. Make my danger or bulletproof mold-free coffee. I don't drink coffee unless it's mold-free. It's a conduit to get very high fat into the system right away. Mm-hmm. So then your hormones are now reacting to fat rather than to sugar, which sugar has the crash. That's number one. After I'm done with the coffee, I go through 4 exercises while that's in the press. And then I get into the cold plunge. 3 minutes in the cold plunge up to here, 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Quite cold.
So that, +4, +5 Celsius, something like that.
Yeah, above the zero, yeah.
Yep. And then the rest of the day, do whatever I need to do, Zooms, all this stuff. And then at night, after, like last night, I played pickleball till about 10 o'clock because I had to show some people how to play. I get home, I have a little snack, and then I got in the infrared sauna. 28
Oh,
minutes in the infrared sauna, wipe off all the sweat, put my face in the cold, and then lay around for a little bit with my family, dogs, whatever, and then go to bed. Everything that I did yesterday, Nick, is about today.
it's a preparation, it's a pre-work.
That's right.
And I love
It's
it.
not about, look what I did for my day. It's look how I prepped for tomorrow. I'm making the future investment with everything I do.
Absolutely. You mentioned supplements, and that's something very interesting for me, especially because I'm about to launch a white label brand with the supplements, which soon will be a sponsor of this podcast. This is another business on the side. I would like to discuss it a little bit with you, and you will be the first person ever with whom I can eligibly discuss it. What supplements are you taking morning, noon, evening time? And can you give me a little bit of context in which way of are those pills, powders? What are you supporting? What are you not supporting? And how are they impacting as well longevity, anti-aging mechanism in the natural way, not in the way that we stop aging, but in the way to we age as naturally as possible?
If I was taking supplements and I didn't see or feel the results, I wouldn't panic. Like, for example, here's a
Okay.
product by a company called Qualia, Neurohacker. But look at the name of the product. It's called Senolytic.
Yep.
Now, Senolytic, my opinion, their best product that they have. And you only take it 2 times a month.
Wow. That big effect?
On a Saturday, Sunday. And then for 28 other days, you take whatever you want. Now, I use their product. Like that's their night product. I have their mind product. I have everything. They're good friends. They have an amazing product, super clean, all that stuff. But that Senolytic product to me made so much sense because everything that I do from speaking to eating to lifting to swinging to golfing to punching to sitting down watching TV to drinking a Coca-Cola, because every once in a while it's okay to do that. It produces byproducts.
Absolutely.
Like an exhaust system for a car.
Yeah.
Where are those byproducts?
That's a good question.
You're not farting them out, right? So where are they?
Yeah, definitely.
Your lymphatic system helps move them. I get all that.
Yeah.
But there's a cell called a senescence cell. Senescence, i.e. senolytic, is the product to go and find the senescence cells, which are called zombie cells. They're not dead. They're not alive. They're just sitting in a corner going, I'm a byproduct, so, whatever. But they end up coagulating the whole system. So once a month, I take this for 2 days to clean out the senescence cells and start with a clean canvas.
Absolutely awesome. Never heard for that product. It's definitely something you and me going to speak privately about, and definitely something I'm going to research more and more. Never heard for that. But this means that they're actually focusing on the right pieces of the cells of our body where they can annulate all the side effects of what we are taking in our body during the day, which is absolutely precise work, and it's like a pure biohacking.
Well, let me just show you something here. So
Go ahead.
here is the Carol bike. Okay, so the Carol bike it looks like a Peloton-ish type of bike, right? Doesn't look much different. Has the screen, all that.
Pretty much normal one.
Yep. The difference is that's an 8-minute ride total. 8 minutes.
Wow.
But if you and I on a bike, let's say you're on the Carol bike and I'm on the Carol bike. Hey, Nick, what's going on? Oh, nothing, Brian. And we're just spinning our wheels like this. 25 watts, no big deal. For 3 minutes, 2 minutes. 2 minutes to start. And then all of a sudden the screen turns red at 3 seconds left. It's counting down. And then the bike says, get ready. Because out of the bushes, something's chasing you. So there's your cortisol. There's your body going, oh shit, something's chasing me.
Yeah.
The screen turns red. The bike knows I'm on there, so it tightens down the flywheel, and I have to spin. I have to go, woo, something's chasing us. We're sprinting for 20 seconds. And then the bike says, good job, you got away. Okay, so now Nick and I are walking on the dirt road again, just like Paleolithic man who got chased by a saber-toothed tiger. And all of a sudden it's like, whoo, we escaped. Okay, let's pedal again. Relax, 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 relax. And then after 3 minutes of getting my heart rate back to normal, out of the corner of your eye, you see it coming again. Oh, God, let's go. Boom, we go again for 20 seconds. So it's the HIIT principle, HIIT, high intensity interval. And then, okay, we got away again. So it's 2 20-second sprints in 8 minutes, workout's over, and it's equivalent to almost a 1 hour run on the metabolic side.
Oh, this is what I love to hear. That's
Yes,
a time changer.
I don't understand why gyms don't have this bike in there. They have other bikes. I'm like, get rid of those, put this in. Because people think, remember what you asked me before, what's a myth about anti-aging and all that stuff? A myth about anti-aging is you have to work hard.
Actually, you don't have to.
Stop working hard. Do something that gives you your time back. Do something that's smarter. The next thing is the biocharger. I get in front of the biocharger. That's PEMF light. Every sound, every pulse electromagnetic field. Then I'll get on the power plate. I have one of those. And then I'll even get on that little mini trampoline by Jump Sport. I do all these
have everything there.
That's just in my office. My garage has the infrared. It has the cold plunge, has the home version of the power plate. I do all these things because if I have a break from this, let's say, okay, we're going to be done with this, and then 10 minutes later I have to be on a Zoom. Why not spend 10 minutes on the power plate doing some of my exercises to get me into another state ready to go again?
You are a pure powerhouse. I love it. Brad, is there a belief that you had a while ago that you completely changed?
Yes.
Can you share with us?
To stay on the supplement category talk. I've never used creatine because I thought it was going to be like dehydrating. I don't really need it in the gym and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when you understand what creatine really does in the gym for muscle, you'll always be on it. But when you understand, when you take about 10 grams a day or more instead of 5, how that spillover affects the brain and the healing of cognitive brain effects, you'll never be off it again.
Sweet. Let's speak about that for sure. Which creatine we're speaking about? Monohydrate or the other one?
HCl or monohydrate. I don't do any of the HCl. I just never have. I found a creatine monohydrate that works for me. Very clean, no taste. I take it in about 4 ounces of tart cherry juice, organic tart cherry juice, because the sugar makes it cross into your system faster. Okay, great. I go to the gym and all I think about is this. If I'm doing this, I'm going boom, boom, boom. Okay, wow, holy cow. And then I think to myself, my body just changed ATP into ADP. So it took one of the energy cells away.
Exactly.
And then the fire truck showed up that said creatine on the side of it and said, I'm going to give you another T. Now all of a sudden my 15-minute workout can be 45 minutes and there's no fatigue.
Absolutely. I'm taking a daily 5 grams so far. I don't know, should I take more? You mentioned that if people are taking 10 or more grams, and I see that some high achievers are taking even 20 grams a day.
I take 20 grams once or twice a week at night right before bed for the cognitive effect. You'll see on my story on Instagram today, I posted something about this young lady named Rhonda Patrick. And she only takes 10 grams because she wants the spillover. She goes, I used to take 5, now I take 10. That's a woman. And women are fearful. They think they're going to get bloated and big and all that stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, and in fact, maybe the HCl is the better female version. I don't know. You have to find out which one works for you.
I'm taking 5 grams of monohydrate daily. This is my routine. I'm taking it together also with BCCA amino acids, simply because my belief is that I should also give some support to the cleaning system of my kidneys and the rest of the body. And I'm taking daily probably around 17 supplements. I call them supplements. Let's call them like vitamins, minerals, and even proteins, starting from coenzyma Q10, from omega-3 oils, from B12, collagen, and other stuffs. My question to you is, when it comes to you living a life how you're living, inspiring people, working literally and probably outworking most of entrepreneurs out there. How do you see yourself for the future 10 years? And where do you see yourself business-wise and private-wise? What is the vision you have?
I will never retire. Number one,
Love
I
it.
like people. I like the human race too much. I love having conversations. Pickleball, posture, pain, performance, supplements, biohacking. I have an opinion about everything. But it's not hear my opinion and listen to me because I'm an expert. It's if we resonate. I had a guy tell me who has a pickleball shoe company. He said, I'm going to send you our stuff. I don't care if you even ever talk about it. He goes, I just love your energy. It's infectious. I'm like, well, I wish my family could hear that because I'm probably killing them every day because of my high energy. You know, they don't ever get any rest. But the reason I ask you that question, what's the big deal about that question, is this. Who I believe, my faith, my God, what I believe in, this is just me I'm speaking about. There's a plan. And I may not be here tomorrow. So why am I worrying about the future? Be nice to people today, which if I could give any information to any politician out there, just be nice. Just
100%.
stop the fight. Be nice. People will resonate with you. And of course, yeah, stop your nefarious behavior, all that stuff, but just be nice to people. How can I help you? And that's a serious question. How can I help you? Even if they insult me. Brian, you look this and you didn't do this. Thank you for the gift, but no thank you. How can I help you? So all I did was turn their insult into a gift so that my cells said, we weren't just insulted. Why would we be upset? Because your thoughts become cellular. So if I allow you control to upset me, I've given up control.
Day one, yeah. I have only two more questions for you, Brian. Thank you so much for being very detailed in every answer. What would you like to people remember you for?
Oh, kind of what that guy said yesterday. You know, look, we had 3 people die this week. I said they come in threes, and the third one hit this morning. Hulk Hogan died, Ozzy Osbourne died, and Malcolm Jamal Warner died. So they're all like celebrities in the US and all that stuff. Well, you know, Ozzy was born in the UK and all that stuff, but amazing. Just to hear and see people's reactions. And I think to myself, I wonder what Ozzy would like to be known for. And I think it showed up later in life. He wasn't the guy that bit the head off the bat and the Prince of Darkness and all the stuff that he portrayed. He was an actor. His true persona was he's on a talk show, his wife's on a talk show, and all of a sudden his music blares in the background and he walks out of the back with a bouquet of flowers and gives it to his wife. And she's crying on TV. I know that all that stuff's planned because I've been in television before and all that kind of stuff. But the way that it made the audience feel is
absolutely.
That's what I would like to be known for.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel when you met me, talked to me, heard about me? And I've been given the opportunity, I was going to say a gift, but my mother's funeral cards here, my father's funeral cards there. I have one job in life, and it's to make them proud as they're looking at me. You know, and I don't mean that in a esoteric way where people are like, oh, you know, it's not real. I don't care what you believe. I care what I believe. You know, it's up to you. If you're happy, you're happy. If you're not, if you don't believe because of bad situations that happened to you when you were younger, then you're being controlled by your past.
Absolutely.
That person's still in control of you.
It kind of
No.
pull you and tied you. If you
Yes.
could speak to 20, 25 years old Brian Bradley, what would you tell to him today?
Thank you.
That's
Thank you for not doing stupid shit that would have not allowed me to do what I'm doing now. Thank you for having a moral compass that allowed you just to be helpful to other people. Thank you for not treating women badly. I have 3 sisters. Thank you for not treating the people badly. You know what I mean? Like you made good choices. So when I raised my son, great kid. Yeah, great kid.
That's very beautiful.
I created it. We created it for a reason. And not because we were building something. It was just be nice.
That's very beautiful. Brian, thank you so much for this conversation. I enjoyed every single second from the moment we first time even connected when you told me that you're coming back to my messages and so on until now. I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that everybody who listened or watched this truly enjoyed. Guys, don't forget to catch the links below. I will there prepare something specially for all of you who are listening and watching, and Brian as well. So you're gonna definitely enjoy. Brian, thank you so much.
Thank you.